In this video, I'm going to go through this full example. So I'm going to show you this whole table and the graph, and we're going to use what we already know about plugging in order to graph this line on the graph. Okay. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time because we're going to plug in 5 different x values. We're going to get a y value, and then we're going to graph that point. Okay. So here is the equation. Y equals -3 times x minus 2. So the question is, if x is -2, what's y? So I'm treating it just as if this said, right, it's the same as if this was f of x, right? This is just different ways of writing it. If I were to then evaluate and do f of -2, right? So what I'm about to do is the same as that. So, but in this case, it says y equals, which is the same. It's just like, right, this is just a different way of writing it. Okay, so I'm doing -3. I'm plugging in -2 for x. So instead of -3 times x, I'm putting in -2 right here, and then -2. Then I'm doing the multiplication. -3 times -2. Negative times negative is positive. 3 times 2 is 6. And I'm bringing down -2, and I get y equals 4. So if x is -2, then y is 4. Now, this is an x value and a y value. This is actually a point on a graph, -2, 4. So I can actually come down here and graph -2, 4. Okay, so here's my work. I said, oh, if x is -2, I plug it in and do all this work. I find the y value. That tells me, right, this is x is -2, y is 4, and then I can graph it. And I'm going to continue just like that. So here I'm going to plug in. This time I'm plugging in -1 for x. What's the y value when x is -1? -3 times -1 is +3. -2, 3 minus 2 is 1. So this time, when x is -1, y is +1. So my point is -1, 1. I'm going to go graph it. -1, 1. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Here I'm plugging in 0. Now I'm multiplying -3 times 0. That's 0. -2. 0 minus 2 is -2. So when x is 0, y is -2. So that's this point. 0, -2. I'm going to graph it. And what you'll start to notice is that these points are falling in a straight line. See how they fall in a straight line? They have to. If they don't, that's how you know you're wrong. Okay? Because this kind of equation is always going to give you a straight line. I'm going to plug in 1 for x. Okay, careful here. -3 times 1 is -3. -2, that's 3 negatives, 2 more negatives. That's a total, of 5 negatives. So that's the point. 1, -5. 1, -5. Okay, and maybe you can predict that this, when I plug in 2, right, the point's going to be off the graph. It'll be down here somewhere. Let's plug in and see what happens. -3 times 2 is -6. -2. -6 minus 2 is -8. Okay, so this is -8. That's the point. 2, -8. And when I go to graph it, yeah, it's off the graph, right? This graph is too small. That's okay. You could just kind of eyeball it, but the thing is you should be able to see, like, oh yeah, I could draw a straight line. Okay, your point is wrong somewhere if you can't draw a straight line through all of your points. So see how I can draw a straight line? Then I know I'm good. Okay, you're going to go ahead and you're going to try this one, graph it here, and this one, graph it here.